What's up guys? So in this video, we're making everything bagel breakfast sandwiches. It's gonna be lighter on the calories. Obviously it's gonna be protein packed. It's also gonna be delicious, so stick around. Okay, so the first thing you wanna grab is a food scale. We're gonna be basically measuring all of our ingredients inside of our bowl. So what I like to do is grab a giant bowl, throw that right on top and tear out the food scale. We're gonna be measuring in grams right now. So our first ingredient is gonna be just regular flour, all-purpose flour. I picked this up at Trader Joe's. We're gonna be basically using 150 grams. Make sure you don't put in too much. And the reason why I like to put in the dry ingredients first is, as you can see, I put a little too much. I can always just scoop it out. The next ingredient, we're gonna have some baking powder. I picked this up also from Trader Joe's, and we're gonna just put in 3 grams. So be very gentle when throwing this in. Make sure you spread it also evenly throughout the flour. Now it's a good idea to just take it and mix that baking powder throughout the flour. We wanna make sure that the baking powder is nice and evenly spread throughout the baking powder before we throw in our next ingredient. That should do it right there. So the next ingredient is some plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. And I picked this up from Trader Joe's. It is great because guess what? It's 7 grams of carbs, 17 grams of protein for 110 calories. So how much are we gonna use? We're gonna be using 170 grams. So just be careful because now this is a wet ingredient. We can't take this out after we put it in. All right, so we're at like 120, 130. Remember, less is more. 150, 165. I bet you this is 170. 172, I'm not gonna worry about too. Now, go ahead and remove the food scale from the bottom. Throw that off to the side. And what you wanna do is now, your hands are gonna get sticky and dirty. We're gonna just basically mix everything all together. And this is gonna take some time, so be patient. This is gonna be forming our protein dough, so to speak, for our everything bagel. So make sure that this is nice and evenly spread and just take your time with it. Make sure you just don't lose any pieces. And you could see that this is forming into a nice dough-like ball here. It is gonna be sticky, like I said, but don't worry, it's all gonna come off. It's just dough. Okay, now clear off your cooking table. Now what I like to do is grab the flour and throw a little bit, just a little, onto your surface. Grab your dough, and basically now what we're gonna do is roll it out. We're gonna roll it out, and then we're gonna throw it into 2 smaller pieces. Be patient, as this is gonna take some time as well. Now, go ahead and just break that in half. Boom. I'm just gonna roll it out until we get so we're gonna roll it out until we have a nice even bagel. Now you see, this is not what we want. We wanna roll out the thick part so we can make a nice even bagel. So that way it looks good for the thumbnail as well. Perfect. I think this one is done. As you can see, we want to connect it a little bit there, but that looks like a small bagel. Throw that off to the side. Next up, I'm gonna roll it out. As you can see, I'm not using the flour here. I essentially don't need it. It's not sticky enough where I need to use a little bit more flour, so that's totally fine if you don't use all of that flour. And here is our second bagel. Perfect. Now, let's clean up and get the baking sheet ready for the everything bagel seasoning. So the next step is you wanna grab your baking sheet. If you don't have a non-stick baking sheet, you could throw some parchment paper on top. This one is non-stick, but I'm gonna use some non-stick, I can't believe it's not butter spray as well, just to make sure We're just gonna throw some sprays all over this guy. And now we're gonna throw our bagels right on top. As you can see, perfect, there we go. So we wanna leave them a little bit spread out. Now we're gonna spray our nonstick on top of the bagels and have this everything bagel seasonings from Trader Joe's. This is essentially 0 calories, and we're just gonna put a generous amount right on top. This is to taste, so whatever you're comfortable with. Now we're gonna throw these in the oven at 350 degrees while we make the rest. All right, so that's baking in the oven, 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how strong your oven is. I always like to put it on the top layer because that way it doesn't get burned. If you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, the bell notification to be posted anytime we post new content. It's free for you guys, it helps the channel, it's a win-win for both of us. I really appreciate it, guys. All right, so now it's time for the toppings. Get a pan. And what we're gonna do is we're going to basically use some nonstick spray. Again, this, I cannot believe it's not butter. And we're gonna spray the pan because what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our eggs, ham, and cheese. Now I'm using 2 whole eggs, 1 egg for each one. What I'm using is this uncured ham, low-fat ham from Trader Joe's. And for the cheese, I'm using this American cheese. This isn't a low-fat option. I couldn't find one, but if you do have a lower calorie one, I recommend that to lower your calories even further. Okay, so let's go ahead and have the eggs on top of the grill right now. Keep them separate. We don't want them scrambled. We want them sunny side up or over easy for this recipe. If you want them scrambled, you can do scrambled as well. These could almost be ready to flip. Not yet, not yet. Go ahead and have your seasoning. I'm using salt and just plain pepper. All right, it's almost ready to flip. We're gonna let it sit for a couple more minutes before we flip them. Oh, this one we can start flipping already. And this one, let's see if we can get underneath. I think we can, perfect. So for the ham, we're gonna be using 2 ounces, which is about 4 slices. So 2 slices on each. So I like to grill my ham a little bit, just so that way we have a nice hot sandwich. Flip it over, flip it over. Perfect. See if the eggs are still kind of going for it. All right. Now, if you want to put the cheese on top of the ham, this is a good idea. It will melt the cheese. We're gonna use 1 American sliced cheese per sandwich. All right, let's check. All right, I think we could flip this one more time. Yeah. Let's go ahead and flip the egg one more time. Ooh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna turn it on low now. Okay, so what I like to do is I'm gonna grab a plate, grab the ham from the bottom, like so, and then we're gonna stick the egg right on top of the cheese. Like so. Whoops, this is gonna be scorching hot. Boom. Move that off, and then here we go. So we have the ham, melted cheese, and a little bit runny yolks for our sandwich. So we still have to wait for the bagels to be ready, so we just leave these off to the side and check back with you once they're ready. Here are the bagels. Look how great they turned out. I mean, that side's not that pretty, but we won't use that for the thumbnail. Look at this, boom, boom, it's hot, whew. All right, so we're gonna grab the cutting board and make the sandwiches now. Okay, I should have let them cool. I put them back on the tray, but note to self, let them cool. So first one's gonna go on top of this one here. It's gonna go on top like this. There you have it. We're gonna take some thumbnail shots, but we're gonna try the taste test right after that. All right, so here they are. I'm gonna take some thumbnail shots, but we'll check back in and we'll try them right after. All right, so here we go. I am back from taking thumbnail shots. Look at that nice egg yolk in the middle. Taste test. Can't even taste the Greek yogurt in the dough. Look at the yolk right here. This is so delicious. I think I'm gonna save this one for tomorrow's breakfast because this is great for on the go. The everything bagel seasoning on these really hits the spot. All right, so before I tell you the calories, I do wanna give a shout out to Cook Like I'm Book. I'll leave his tag right here. I basically got the protein bagels from his channel, from his TikTok. Check him out, give him a like and a follow. So the calories for just one, not two, just one, 465 calories, 9 grams of fat, 61 grams of carbs, and 35 grams of protein. I don't think McDonald's drive-through breakfast sandwiches are giving you 35 grams of protein. We're gonna try it out with some ketchup as well. All right, I'm signing off, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a like, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification to be posted anytime we post new content. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, LIFTTOEAT and LIFTTOEATFITNESS. Nutrition coaching, links in descriptions down below, and we'll see you guys next week for another video.